I am also keen for your view on where we've landed in terms of discourse in Taiwan, a few weeks on from Nancy Pelosi's visit. Obviously, you're a very keen student of relations in that part of the world. Did the visit strengthen Taiwan's position or weaken it?
No, the consensus is that Taiwan is weakened because the Chinese were able to demonstrate in a very brutal fashion that they could blockade the island. Regrettably, they've fired 3 missiles into Japan's exclusive economic zone, and America did nothing in response, nor should America have done anything. We all wanted de-escalation and restraint all round. Joe Biden, in fact, would feel vindicated because the White House argued strongly, reportedly, with Madam Speaker, not to make this visit. And so did the military chiefs in America. They did not want it to go ahead. What I find interesting is that Andrew Hastie and in an article in The Australian, Dave Sharma, the former Liberal member for Wentworth, both made the point, and they made it using the very language that Penny Wong has used. We want restraint. We want to return to the status quo that kept the peace for decades in Taiwan-China relations, restraint by both sides, no resort to violence or military threats, and above all, the principles of one China and what's known to diplomats as strategic ambiguity. We don't go around announcing what we would do in the event of a showdown. And I thought Hastie and Sharma showed real responsibility, and they're cleaving to bipartisanship in the language they choose to use about Taiwan. And I think that's a tribute to Penny Wong, of course, because it's been her language, and we're now sending a message to the world that it's bipartisan.
Well, as you wrote in The Australian this week, you said talking up conflict is to talk up a showdown, and you made the point that you believe that showdown carries a high likelihood of US defeat. Obviously, as you point out, restraint, de-escalation is the aim of the game here, and this is hypothetical. We're all keen to avoid it. But would the US prefer to withdraw from Asia than even contemplate a defeat over Taiwan?
I think we've got to acknowledge that nothing is certain about US and its international personality. The prospect of a second Trump presidency makes that point. And if it weren't Trump, which of us can say with certainty what would be the foreign policy doctrine of a DeSantis administration, the governor of Florida being a strong contender if Trump's not available for the presidential nomination of the Republican Party. All you can say is that America is more unpredictable and it has more polarized politics, more political extremism and dysfunctionality in Washington than ever before. And Trump, second time around, what direction would he go? And he could attempt to make a grand bargain with Xi Jinping. He could do anything. In that context, I think we've got to say that Pelosi visit was extremely regrettable. And to me, again, it's interesting that Andrew Hastie and Dave Sharma from the coalition side are saying we are, or implying we are less secure because of that visit. America's been shown in the eyes of its Asian partners, the 10 nations in Southeast Asia, for example, and Japan, an ally, to be unable to respond to this grand assertiveness, pretty brutal assertiveness by China. And that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. But it's got to make Australians think that our highest diplomatic priority has got to be to avoid that showdown. The last thing we want is a crisis over Taiwan Straits between China and the US, precisely because there's a high likelihood of America having an unsatisfactory outcome, and as a result, lessening its commitment or withdrawing completely from Asia.